Welcome to Expert SEM. Today we are going to continue with our episode 5. We are seeing various aspects of warehouse management, and also after completing warehouse, we are going to continue with the inventory management. So if you are watching this for the first time, I advise you to go back to previous episodes so that there is a continuity. And this program is for executive level, either you are in entry or mid or senior level. And I am trying to train you on a global level. And this you may use it either for upskilling your knowledge, or maybe if you are looking for a job in high tech industry, this type of program will help you. Okay. Meanwhile, if you are watching live, you can always come chat in the chat box, or if you are watching offline, you can comment it so that me or our executive can reach you. So let me attach the slide. This is a YouTube exclusive program, so other channels it's not available. So this is in continuation to our previous topics. We have completed so far 4 topic. Now we are going to continue with the warehouse process. What are the various process, and which one is important, how to perform, what are the best practices, which we are going to see in this topic. So here we are going to see picking strategies and what kind of equipment we are going to use in the warehouse environment. Before I dig into the topic, let me briefly introduce myself. This is my LinkedIn profile. My name is Pattabhi Raman, and I have nearly 2,500 thousands enrolled in various program in Udemy. This is my Udemy profile, and I am also available in LinkedIn. So you are always welcome to connect to me or follow me in LinkedIn profile. Of course, you should be knowing, if you are in supply chain profile, the certification which I have put below my name, or globally recognized supply chain certification, and I have nearly 25 years working in large global organization, including Bosch in Bangalore. Okay, now let us go to the topic. Picking is one of the main cost area in any warehouse operation. Maybe it is taking nearly 50% of the picker's time, and any congestion in pick phase is also an issue. So the layout design should be proper so that there are no rush in the pick area or any accident in the pick area. So picking may require various format like full pallet picks or pallet layer picks, outer cotton picks, inner cotton picks, or individual item picks, or a combination. So the preparation should be in such a way so that it can facilitate all this. Okay. Now, coming to the various picking strategy and equipment which we are going to see in this session, it starts from the picker. What kind of arrangement, whether picker to goods or goods to picker, or any automated picking, and the kind of order picking, handling equipment used, storage methods adopted in the warehouse environment, and kind of picking operations. So maybe here we are going to see about paper pick or pick by label scanning, and there are various formats available. Also, along with this, finally, we are going to see about various hardware and software used in the warehouse environment. Now, coming to first pick strategy. Basically, there are three main strategies are possible. Picker to goods, which means picker is going to the storage area and picking the item. Next one is the goods are coming to the picker, and the picker is stationary, and we have a third kind which is called automated picking. Possibly you will see in a e-commerce platform where they handle huge number of SKUs, the automated picking is preferred. So, seeing the first level picker to goods, you have so many formats here, starting from pick to order, where here individual order pick or discrete order pick is done. Here, the picker takes only one order and goes through the warehouse and completes the order picking. Advantage is minimum amount of handling is required, and the focus is also there on a particular order, and this is the case in most of the medium or small scale warehouses. And coming to picker to goods, the next method is cluster picking. So in order to reduce overall travel time, operator can take a number of orders out into the warehouse at the same time. So earlier method, only one order in one trip, but here in cluster picking, the picker is going to take multiple order, and the trolley is made in such a way that they have the compartment, so that a particular order can be kept in a separate compartment. Of course, this needs a experienced picker, so that the picker is not putting the wrong item in a compartment. You can see a sample of compartmentalized trolley, where it may have 8 or 10 or 12 depending upon the size of the picking, and a particular order can be put into a compartment. Coming to the next format, it is called batch picking. Pick a product for a number of orders at a time. So here there will not be any compartments here. These orders are actually consolidated into one pick list. Once picked, they are taken to a common area where they are separated out. So there are also some sub formats are available, like pick by line or pick to zero. Okay, there are some advantages and disadvantages in each of the method, and we have to see which method is appropriate for your kind of operation, and whether you are in a retail environment or in a manufacturing environment. Coming to the next picker to goods, we have zone picking. As you see in the picture, the warehouse is divided into multiple zone, and the picker have been given responsibility to pick in each of the zone. Okay, in this case, picker picks only from the such specified zone. Level of activity will determine how many zones required in a warehouse. Order can be picked simultaneously or picked sequentially. So will be effective in operation with large number of SKUs, multiple orders used by companies where there are different zone for product families such as pharmaceutical or hazardous item and food item. Maybe you will see that the pickers becomes a specialist in such kind of operation, because they are familiar with respect to their specific zone, and they are able to pick the correct product from their zone. Okay, the next format is called wave picking. What we do is we are trying to align the picking with respect to maybe shift timing or vehicle departure timing, like that. Orders are combined and released at a specific time to associate them with the vehicle departure, replenishment cycle, shift changes, product location, product commonality, value adding service requirement, and priority. So each one is a specific one. Before you can implement any of this picking strategy, you have to understand the benefits and disadvantage of each of this method, and also study your product requirement or business requirement. Next major format is goods to the picker. So here, picker will be stationary, whereas the goods will move to him. One sample image, what you are seeing in the picture, is that of a horizontal carousel. You can call this as a carousel. So you can see various components are available in this carousel. So if you want a particular part number, if you press a button or enter the code, it is going to rotate horizontally and come near the picking station. So you can pick and make a entry, and here in this case it can eliminate the picker travel time. Possibly it also involves huge capital investment. At the same time, less labor can be used, and omit the dedicated pick pace. So in the other format you have seen, each SKU may have a separate pick pace, but here you do not have such a pick paces, and reduce the system footprint. Product security is also improved by using the system. Possibly, we can also have a ergonomic workstation which may reduce strain from the operator or the picker, and this will also end in speeding up the order selection. Also, this kind of picking method is going to improve the accuracy of the operation. The next format could be decoupled workstation and high utilization workstation, sequencing independent of order profile, efficiently accommodates SKU growth. Of course, all this facility should be inbuilt into the product. Next format is automated picking, where it's going to increase the speed, accuracy, and productivity. Where you can see in most of the e-commerce platform, when they have millions of part code, and they need quicker picking as well as accurate picking, then they have to go for an automated picking. This is a high volume item pick operation. Possibly we can think about upwards of 3000 cartons per day for automation. Okay, you can see a large warehouse system where there are robots and other systems are handling. The major advantage could be increased space utilization. As you see, you can vertically store the items, high bay, narrow agile pace, random storage can be utilized, higher density of storage. Okay, labor and energy saving. Suppose the cost of the labor is very high, then going for this format is always suggested. In this format, product is also secured. There is one more system called compact picking system, ideal for slow moving products in retail and wholesale warehouses. Of course, I am trying to give a equivalent image for such of the operation. You may see these in the retail environment or retail distribution environment. Of course, not in Indian conditions. This kind of compact picking system is useful where there are large number of SKUs and very high service levels are required. The next automated system is known as order distribution system, ideal for business processes where large number of order lines are fulfilled from a relatively small number of SKUs. Next automated system is called automated storage and retrieval system. Of course, these kind of systems are available in India. So you can see a image. The central one is the automated system which can travel at a very high speed, either horizontally or vertically, either for placing or picking the item. But it's going to be very expensive and capital intensive. On the other hand, you can have a lower number of operators required. So this kind of system is ideal for storing small quantities of large number of SKUs, saves space whilst increasing the turnover. There is also one more automated system called 3D shuttle technology. So all this, if you go through the YouTube, but there are a lot of videos on each of this title. Of course, these are practiced by the global e-commerce platform. It uses a gantry robot technology combined with an innovative shuttle device. You can see the image where it's picking the bins and it's shuttling. It can travel in the given area. Of course, you see a small area in the image, but it can travel for a long distance and pick or place the bins. There is one more system called Autostore. Stored goods in a bin that are stacked directly on top of one another in a self-supporting aluminum grid. And I know these kind of storages are being used in many e-commerce operations. The grid not only guides the pin but also serves as a rail for robots to travel on. As you see, a huge big warehouse is being operated by such kind of a robo, and it may be possible to operate even 10,000 square meter warehouse with only few operators. But on the other hand, it is very much capital intensive. Coming to the next aspect, ergonomic workstation, the operator, especially if the warehouse is operated in a manual environment, a suitable facility should be provided to the operator so that he doesn't bend or lift a heavy load. You can see that proper workstations are being provided at a normal working height to enable continuous and sustainable performance. This is to counter repetitive strain injury. Okay, there are also some type of completed automated warehouses. Of course, here you can see that the height of the rack even going up to 50 meters in height and totally automated. Maybe here the area could be around 50,000 square meters. At the same time, a limited number of operators may be operating this kind of a warehouse. Of course, these kind of warehouses are not still available in India. Possibly they are available in Germany and US. But there are also disadvantages for automation. When you go continuing to do what you have always done, but more quickly and potentially with less paper, is not going to improve the overall performance. So there is a high opportunity cost. If at all there is a system failure, then totally everything becomes to alt and no alternative is possible. These kind of automated operation require standardized unit load. As you see, it can operate either in a standard size of bin or similar devices. Possibly my year it may require more incoming quality control, high cost of disposal, lack of flexibility, and of course, this is a conflicting with job opportunities. That's where you may not be able to see this kind of totally automated warehouse in our environment, because this may lead to job losses. Coming next aspect is a robotic picking, where labor is scarce or very expensive. Possibly in Japan, they are using this kind of arrangement. Coming next portion is a handling equipment. So you need to provide suitable material handling equipment. One is a holding device like a bin. Then to lift it and move the item, you need a suitable handling equipment. The basic manual one is called this hand trolley, which is a manual one. Okay, possibly sometime mechanical handling equipment may also be required. So here we are talking about trolleys, cages, carts, or garment rails. The basic item which can help in the operation could be hand pallet track, powered pallet track, or manual stoker track. Of course, all these are basic requirement in any warehouse operation when you are going to use the pallet, as we have seen in the last session, for cargo storage or movement. Of course, when the cargo weight is more and it has to be lifted to a higher height, then you need forklift trucks, and these trucks are available with different capacity, weight lifting capacity, and it can go to various heights. So this has to be decided before ordering such kind of equipment. Next, we have low level order pickers. Maybe this picture gives you an idea. This is also like a trolley, but here the picker is reaching to the height, picking the item, and then keeping on the product bins or the pallets. High level order picker, whenever you are storing at a very high level, you have the picker going to this high level and then picking the required part in a required quantity. Though it looks dangerous, but these are being operated um, in most of the western warehouses, but not in India. Okay, and this kind of a tow troll tractor may be required if you are trying to pull multiple trolleys together. Okay, and you may see this kind of tractor being used in many of manufacturing organization in their warehouse for moving the components. The most basic automated equipment could be conveyor. Normally, gravity fed conveyors are being used in many of the environments. So the conveyor can also travel for a long distance. You might have seen in many of the e-commerce warehouses, this kind of arrangement is existing. Though gravity is a basic method, but power conveyors are also available, used for transporting goods over a very longer distance. Coming to the next aspect is storage equipment. So we are seeing each process, and every the process is connected so that the entire operation is being performed efficiently. Coming to the storage equipment, when you are having a bulk equipment, bulk items, then possibly storing in the floor is okay, but once again you have to see the space occupation, because in this kind of a floor storage, the space is not utilized to the full extent, because you can see there is a gap between top of this pallet or the goods and the ceiling. But if you prepare the floor loading, especially for a heavier item, this could be okay. This is known as the flow storing. Next one is a standard pallet tracking. But you will see most of the organization, whether is it in a manufacturing or retail distribution environment, the racks are being used. These are metallic racks with multiple layers and can go up to a very uh, higher location, as we have seen in the previous slides. It can even go up to 50 meters in height, but in traditional warehouses, we may use this up to 7 meters. In any case, there should be a gap between the top of this rack and the ceiling, maybe to facilitate proper lighting or fire extinguishing equipment. And this is one of the basic method of racking, so that you can use the warehouse space in a more efficient way. You should also decide the weight of the item which you are going to keep in this rack, because these racks are designed for a particular weight. Okay, so load carrying capacity should also be known even before you decide to order this kind of item. There is something called flow racking. If you want to save time for loading, unloading, which can be done simultaneously. In this kind of arrangement, you are going to load the product on one end, and other end you are going to pick. This is also called FIFO racks, first in first out kind of a rack. Possibly this kind of application may be there in lean and JIT kind of environment, and also for the item which requires which has a shorter life period, maybe a perishable item or pharmaceutical item may require this kind of a flow racking. And this is called shelving. Maybe it looks like a rack, but it's like a small shelf to store less than pallet quantity. Here we are not going to load with a pallet. Maybe all this units can be hand picked or hand loaded, so this is called shelving. Mobile shelving and racking is also available when you have a space problem or constraint. Possibly you can see in this image, you can slide the racks using the rails and push it and go inside, pick the item and come out and close it. So there are also safety precautions to be followed, but overall you can save the space and the item is also protected. And this is one of the format where you can save and protect the item. Coming to the carousel, as we have seen in one of the earlier images, this is a horizontal carousel, two layer version, which means there is a picker both at the ground level and at the first level. But this is also one of a automated solution. You are going to store the item in a rotating horizontal carousel, and if you need a particular item, you have to enter in the system so that this is going to rotate and come to the picker position. Okay, similarly we also have a vertical carousel. When you have space constraints, so you can go vertical to any height. You can see in the image the operator is standing there, and he is entering a particular part code. This carousel rotates and comes to the operator's position so that he can pick it. These kind of carousels are coming in various formats. Of course, I have used this kind of carousel, especially used for small expensive item. You can store them securely. Also, this comes with a software for inventory management. So whenever you are loading this item, you can enter the system the part code and quantity, and whenever you are taking out, you can also do the reverse way. And it's very neat and clean operation, especially when you are working in a small constrained warehouse. Okay, there are also vertical lift module. Possibly you can imagine the car storage in a multiple level operates in this format. It is going to lift the item and store in the respective slot. It is an enclosed storage system consisting of two columns of extractable trays, each able to hold multiple carton, totes, or bins, as you can see in the image. In any case, these are all expensive system, but more and more automations are required if you are trying to store expensive item, and you need a higher accuracy. Then this kind of system will help. Of course, there are various formats of storing devices are available. Here, if you want to store a rod or pipes, you cannot use the conventional racking system. So each one requires a different design. So these kind of frame storage racks is used for storing lengthier items. So similar formats are available if you are going to store a cable, lengthier cables. So the frame has to be designed to hold those bobbins. Suppose if you are trying to store oil drums, so the storage area or design will be different in such situation. So we will continue with our next session on various formats of processes of warehouse. You are always welcome to visit our site. We have both the live and self-paced program, and one of our popular program is supply chain analytics. Now you may see many multinational organizations, they are looking for executive who are having both the domain as well as analytical knowledge, and we do a world's unique program where such kind of a practical program is not available anywhere. And also, if you are looking for any global certification like Apix, you are welcome to contact us for any doubts or clarification. So if you have any doubts or clarification, you can always type in the comments. Even if you are watching offline, so that we'll be able to reach you. Thanks for watching. Bye.